Hi, my name is Katherine, and I wanted to spend some time sharing my experience as an employee of Growth International with you today. The journey that I've been on with Growth International since 2000 has been equally as important as the destination, or the outcomes and achievements, I should say. This is because I know that so many lives have been touched and altered as a result of Growth International's commitment to an innovative HIV and AIDS education project in South Africa. The conceptualization of the project in South Africa began when I was a student, a new media student at Bournemouth University. I was looking for a way to integrate my passion for development in Africa along with harnessing my skills in media production. As I researched the topic in more depth, I realised the genuine need for such an intervention to assist with the transfer of knowledge and life skills amongst the youth in South Africa. The need I found was staggering. South Africa has one of the highest prevalence rates of HIV in the world. Almost 6 million people are estimated to be living with the virus, which not only takes the lives of those infected, but devastates and threatens the lives of those left behind, often children, and undermines social structures, economies, and infrastructures in its wake. Disturbingly, despite numerous campaigns and information dissemination since the early 1990s, prevalence has skyrocketed. Today, youth and even children have developed a fatigue of the topic, HIV and AIDS, and despite this attitude, ignorance and risky behaviour remains incredibly high. The opportunity to take this concept into a real working environment in South Africa really only came about through Growth International's interest and commitment to the project. I approached Growth International with the project while at university. Growth International believed the project to resonate with their beliefs on corporate social responsibility, but it also aligned very well with the nature of the work that they did in the UK communities, only with adults, and that's namely personal development, parenting, executive coaching, and teacher in-service training. Therefore, it was really a combination of possible potential business opportunities combined with the social and personal development principles that are the foundations of Growth International that really convinced Growth International to invest in this project. Seed funding was invested by Growth International to initiate a research study in South Africa to assess the feasibility of the project. The prototype CD-ROM that had been developed in the UK was then tested directly in South African schools. It was evident from this trip that the need for innovative and fresh responses to HIV education was urgent. The CD-ROM concept appeared to bring something new to the table for everyone and changed attitudes around the approach to HIV education. IT was perceived to be a way to attract and maintain children's attention, and the teacher was also looking for something exciting that lessened their burden. Such a positive response from experts, teachers and children alike in the field in South Africa convinced Growth International that this was an opportunity to not only expand the company's reputation and partners, but also to empower a young person like myself searching for a meaningful career. Growth International assisted the project to the next level, which was now to react and respond to this feedback. In Cape Town, I set up office space to manage the production and distribution of the educational package to schools in South Africa. We developed a partnership with the University of Cape Town and began to work with the education department along with other local organisations and of course schools. The project became known as the African Pulse and diversified in its content and services as more needs from the field arose. This then expanded to include an educational animated CD-ROM, a comic book, an activity book, and a teacher's guide. The package of resources assists teachers to deliver life skills such as healthy living and making choices and HIV and AIDS education in the classroom. This is achieved through an edutainment medium while creating a new and non-threatening approach to essential life-saving information. The African Pulse was rolled out to local schools, which then started to open up more opportunities for the company Growth International. It was through Growth International and our partnership with the University of Cape Town that we managed to secure a contract for a USAID-funded project commissioned by the Africa America Institute. We developed a workshop toolkit which aided communities to respond better to HIV and how that impacted children in their communities. And the toolkit was facilitated with groups across Ethiopia, Namibia, Nigeria, Kenya and Uganda. As a result of the continued need and demand for the African Pulse educational package, it was clear that a more effective platform needed to be created to give the African Pulse independence with the ability to generate and attract its own stream of funding. Sustainability is the key to any development intervention. Growth International then committed to establishing the African Pulse as a UK registered charity, and this has now been operating with Growth International directors as trustees for the last 3 years. To date, the charity has managed to raise in the region of £100,000 to further its work and its team. As a result, we have evidence that the African Pulse educational resources has improved knowledge and attitudes around HIV to the beneficiaries, the children in the classroom, the 10 to 14-year-olds. We have seen knowledge change and we have seen attitude change around HIV and AIDS. And we've also seen teachers who have found new and creative ways to facilitate HIV and AIDS in the classroom in South Africa. I am now the project director for the charity as a consultant to Growth International. Currently the project is expanding and en route to distribution across South Africa, with prospects for delivering to Botswana, Namibia, Swaziland and Mozambique. Although I'd spent time in Africa and dreamed of such an opportunity to harness my skills for its development, without the support of Growth International for my vision, this may not have been taken any further than a UK university project. Now it is a charity which has touched hundreds of children's and many teachers' lives in South Africa. Through our UK-based funding, we have also in parallel created enormous awareness amongst our local London community and beyond, and also attracted young people from across the UK to volunteer their skills and time for the charity. Many who have supported the African Pulse along the way have also been inspired and motivated by our initiative to explore ways that they can, on a personal or business level, give more. I have benefited enormously from the opportunity that Growth International has given me and has invested in the African Pulse. It's been an empowering and educational journey and experience. And having Growth International's resources, expertise and commitment behind me all the way has been really critical on this journey. Growth International exhibits a dynamic and pioneering approach to corporate social responsibility. The company has set an example for small companies to really utilise their capacity and stretch their boundaries in the quest for an ethical, fulfilling and successful company.